Hello everyone, welcome to the introduction of what is hopefully going to be the start of a fairly long-running series. So, I am Aaron at KC Media. This here is Darren, the other character you will often see is Cade. These two will be having recorded their travels throughout the lands of Eorzea and FF14. This series is broken into a number of shorter videos. One set, following Darren here, will be covering the primary MSQ. Kadir will be taking the lead when it comes to side quests in the different zones and some particulars of the Blue Quest series. Between the two of them, you will see a number of videos largely covering cutscenes and conversations with NPCs in all of these quests. Depending on how people feel, we can either include footage of some of the duties that will take place, or we can kind of have me narrate what is occurring during it and skip it over to just keep it focused on the conversations. My main focus is to cover the lore within the FF14 series and kind of enable people to be able to quickly search up lore either for a zone or tied to a class quest series, or, as I said, in the MSQ. Clipping will be turned on for these YouTube videos, so if you are a YouTuber yourself who wants to do lore content, you can feel free to clip and use footage from these videos. Just please give credit when you do so. And yeah, there will be a playlist that these videos are attached to, and they will be clearly labelled with whether they are MSQ, class role quests, zone quests, blue quests, and what level appropriate they are, to try and make sure that no one accidentally clicks on a video and gets spoiled for something that they haven't done and wanted to be unspoiled by. So yes, I hope everyone enjoys the series, and yeah, we'll see where we go. I apologise to those who are trying to watch all three of the starting zone quest areas. This video will be a standalone video at the start of the playlist, but will also be at the start of each of the free zone quest videos. We are chaptering it though, so that you can skip this. So yeah, tell us what you think in the comments below, and thank you for watching. Hello everyone, welcome. This will be the first in a series of lore videos. We are going to be covering, in the first three videos, the three starting zones. This one covering Ul'dahn.
Here. Here. Feel.
Hey you. You all right, lass? You were moaning something fierce for a while there. Feeling the effects of the ether, I reckon. You'll get used to it, though. Don't worry. You there, halt! What's all this about? Inspection. Men, search the carriage. I'm just an honest peddler, friend, so, don't be too disappointed if you don't find nothing, eh? Mind your tongue, old man, lest I cut it out. Sir, look, Somnus. Honest peddler, was it? Since when do honest peddlers deal in prohibited herbs? You're in a lot of trouble, old man. You'll rot in a dungeon till the end of your days, unless you can afford the fine. Business as usual. Ooh-ah! Amalja, 2 arms, 2 arms. Seven hells. Consider this a warning. Now go, all of you. Phew. That kind of excitement ain't good for the heart. You be careful around them brass blades, lass. Bastards'll have the shirt off your back if they fancy it. Like common bandits they are, only less honest. Thank the gods for sending some beastmen to the rescue, eh? Hey, seeing as we still got a long ride ahead, do you mind keeping me company till we arrive? Them young'uns don't care much for conversation, see? Brent's the name, and peddling's my trade. And judging by your unusual garments, I'll wager you're one of them new adventurers. I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory, that's what I call a living. So long as you can avoid dying on it. Ain't no secret that an adventuring is a risky business these days, especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? I'll go with power. Power? As in, power to do good, like protecting the weak and fighting for what's right and all that, aye? I thought that's what you meant. Well, adventurers do get up to a lot of fighting, that's for sure. You'll never be in short chance to polish your warcraft in an adventuring business. When you arrive in town, you best head over to the Adventurers Guild. They'll set you on the right path. And it wouldn't hurt to join a guild neither. Ul'dah's home to a few, so if you fancy learning how to fight with a sword, your fists, or even spells, you should think about seeking one out. Just remember though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. By the by, is this your first trip to Ul'dah? It is. Well then, let this journeyed itinerant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Ul'dah's ruled by the Sultantree in name, but as most folk know, the Syndicate holds all the real power. Them and their monetarist cronies would happily get rid of Her Grace altogether. That won't happen while she still commands the loyalty of the Royalists, and the Royalists are nothing if not loyal. These factions have long fought over power, throwing the weight of their wealth against each other, and they show no sign of stopping. Of course, the Lizardmen, that is the Amalja, couldn't care less about Ul'dahn politics. They have their own interests, see, and they ain't afraid to use force to serve them. They say war is a gift to peddlers, need breed in profit. But though it shames me to say it, I'm inclined to agree. Ah, at long last. Behold Ul'dah, the jewel of Thanalan, where folk turn sand to gold.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises, a solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance, her name, Ul'dah. Even with the coming of the seventh umbral era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm.
And here's where we part ways, lass. I am off to the markets to deliver me wares. Then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for putting up with me prowl. You never did tell me your name, though. Hey, but here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
Boy, Venturer, over here. I mean you. Fresh off the carriage by any chance, eh? How can I tell? Here. Name's Wymond, and it's my business is knowing every bugger else's. Now then, what if I was to offer you some invaluable advice by way of welcome to our fair city, free of charge, even just this once like? It's plain to anyone with eyes that you don't know your way around here. If I let you go wandering off down the nearest dark alley, you're certain to get mugged, or worse, and I don't want that on my conscience. So before you do anything else, you'll want to head over to the quicksand, Speak with Memodi. She's the master of the Adventurers Guild, and can set you on the right path. Just take those steps over yonder and pass through the double doors. You'll find her inside. And that's as much as you're getting for free. Good luck with the adventuring, adventurer. Why, hello there. Who might you be? If you're looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you've come to the right place. Name's Memodi, and I own this fine establishment, if it please you. I also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Ul'dah, so you might say that looking after the green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you that is. Without someone like me to steer you right, you'd soon find yourself out in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. Like our conflict with the Amalja, for example. They've been plaguing the Sultanate for nigh on, forever now. And then there's the Garlean Empire. None can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are. Aye, the people drink and make merry, but underneath it all there's worry. Worry and a lingering feeling of loss. And little wonder, it's scarce been 5 years since the Lesser Moon cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm to the 8th hell. So much was lost in the blink of an eye. It was like the end of the world had come at last. But then things begin to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happened next, some of them 2 or 3. You'd think people would remember something like that. The fact is, they don't. Nobody does. There is one thing the survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who'd laid down their lives to the realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. Deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. It's just a shame our recollections of those brave heroes are as jumbled as those of the calamity itself. Whenever we try to recall their faces to mind, it's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, permanently silhouetted. I'll bet that sounds poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating. But even if we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten, and so we call them the Warriors of Light. And they'll forever stand a shining example of what an adventurer can achieve. That's why I welcome new rivals like yourself to our fair city. All I ask is that you lend a helping hand and try to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her in. If you can promise that, I'd be happy to let you join the guild. All right then. Promise is a promise now. I'm counting on you to help out and to help put the past behind us. We need people working and spending and bickering just like the old days. And a happy and prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand too. Any road, let's make this official. Go ahead, write your name in the register, neat as you can. Kaisal. Well, ain't that a charming name? Just rolls off the tongue, it does. All right, Miss Sire. On behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially... Please, sir, be merciful. 12 as my witness, I swear to you, I'll bring you the money. In the East, it is said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance if thrice blasphemed. Be grateful that you were given a 4th chance to offend. You to attend the scum. No, please, mercy. Well, ain't that a sorry sight? Not an uncommon one, if I'm honest. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, I'll doubt you end up like him. Just the same, if you ever need a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bothering me every time you stub your bloody toe, all right? Of course, I do enjoy hearing a lady use on the many manhoods of her acquaintance from time to time. Any road, welcome to Ul'dah, Kai. Take a moment to catch your breath, and I'll teach you a little about our fair city. Before you go charging off to find your fortune, I have a few basic tasks I'd like you to perform as to help you get to know the place. First of all, I want you to visit the Aetherite Plaza. To get there, head west from here until you reach Emerald Avenue, then look to the north. You should see a giant floating crystal called an Aetherite. If it weren't for Aetherite, travelling around Eorzea would be a damn sight more troublesome than it is. Of course, you still need to attune with them before you can use them, so be sure to do that with the one in the plaza. You ever attuned with an Aetherite before, Kai? If not, just lay your hand on the thing and you'll see what I mean. When you've done that, I want you to pay a visit to the Thaumaturgist Guild over at Arzaneth Ossuary. Assuming the scepter ain't just for show, you might consider training there. And finally, I want you to visit the Sapphire Avenue Exchange over on the steps of Thal. Goods from across Eorzea and beyond turn up there every day. You'll have no trouble finding armour, weapons, and anything else a fledgling adventurer like you myself might need. You might say that everything's for sale here, as long as you've got the gift. Just make sure you don't pay more than you ought, Kai. There's plenty as won't scruple to swindle unsuspecting foreigners like yourself, especially if they think no one's looking out for their best interests. Which is why I'm giving you this letter. When you visit the exchange, find a gentleman named Cesaroga and give it to him. He'll be happy to tell you about the markets once he's read it. In short then, visit Aetherite Plaza, Thaumaturgist Guild, and the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Simple. Oh, but before you go, a word of advice. While there are more than a few unsavoury carrots out there who'll try to take advantage of you, there are also some honest-to-goodness problems who you should consider offering a helping hand to. A lot of folk are lured to the city by the promise of wealth and power. What many of them fail to realise is that power of instead of chasing after Gil, the moment they get here, they ought to be making threats. Let it be known that you're willing to give as much as you get, and opportunities will come your way. Speaking of which, you should speak to the smith over yonder. Those lads always have good advice for up-and-coming adventurers. Otherwise, that's about it from me. It's past time you got going. Oh, and let me know when you've finished, will you? That way I won't spend my days worrying that you're down to your small clothes without a guild to your name. Hail, adventurer. Might you have come at the behest of Miss Momodi of the Quicksand? Excellent. Which brings us to the matter of attunement fee. That will be 100,000 gil, if you please, madam. Apologies, but I do relish the opportunity to make that jest. The look on your face was absolutely priceless. But the fact you were so easily deceived suggests to me you are unfamiliar with the use of Aetherites. Allow me to explain. These crystalline agglomerations tap into the ethereal energies and are primarily used as a means of travel swiftly from one place to another. Perchance you have heard of the return and teleport. Well, these transportation spells make direct use of Aetherites and their connection to the flow of ether. Given that there is an Aetherite in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer with a mind to explore the realm will wish to seek out and attune herself to each and every one. But even if you have no intention of wandering beyond the Sultanate's borders, it would be prudent for you to attune yourself to any Aetherites you do encounter from now on. I pray you found that informative. Should you wish to learn more about Aetherites or transportation magic, I should be happy to answer your questions. And you are? Oh, a newly come adventurer, but of course, yes, I am Sarasoga. What can I do for you? You would have me teach you the ways of the marketplace. Very wise. As for my fee, what? You expect me to do it for free? Surely you jest. My dear adventurer, when you ask an Ul'dahn for a favour, you should at least try to make it worth his while. Judging by your garb, I rather doubt you could afford my services, but the fact you offer nothing is laughable. Mistress Momodi instructed you to seek me out, did she? Consider yourself fortunate to have such influential friends. I shall be brief, and you shall be attentive. You stand in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, the busiest and most profitable marketplace in the Sultanate. Being advantageously situated in relation to the other city-states, Ul'dah's markets have ever served as both the literal and figurative centres of Eorzean commerce. All the great overland trade routes lead to our city, and the majority of maritime trade between Vilbrand and Aldenard passes through our ports. Because of this, countless companies and consortia have chosen Ul'dah as the base of their operations. They see to it this marketplace is awash with merchants and moneylenders day and night. Anything a man could ever desire can be purchased here, provided he has sufficient funds. Surely there's something you seek, adventurer? A deadlier sword, perhaps? Shinier trinket? Whatever it is you want, the exchange will have it. To the north you will find the merchants peddling armour and accessories, curatives and crafting materials. And to the south you will find weapons, tools and assortments of other useful items for sale. Seek out a particular merchant or browse to your heart's content, but do try to remain aloof. Would you find something that piques your interest? Decisions made in the heat of the moment are usually unwise, especially where coin is concerned. That's as all the complimentary aid you shall receive from me, and far too much for my taste. My regards to Momodi. Now off with you. How was your tour of the city, Kai? Get lost, did you? Aye. Well, Ul'dah's a big place with lots to see and do, but wandering around aimlessly doesn't pay the bills. If you're serious about making a living here, you'll need to remember where things are. So when you go exploring, explore like you've got purpose, eh? All right then. All that's left for you to work hard, make money, and spend it here at the quicksand. Well, youngling, how are you finding our fine Ul'dah then? Got your bearings about ye yet? If so, mayhap it's time you ventured beyond the city walls. The bustling streets of Ul'dah are one thing, but the wilds of Thanalan, that's another altogether. I know a bloke you might fancy speaking to, and he you. Name's Papashan. You'll find him over at the Ul'dah dispatch yard. No doubt he'll have some work for you. The dispatch yard's over in central Thanalan. Just head out the door across the hall, you'll see the Gate of Nod staring right back at you. Pass through it and head east. You'll come upon it for long. There's dangers beyond the wall there, more than I'd care to count. Nothing too terrible, mind you, but feisty enough to attack you if you draw near. Don't say nobody cares enough to warn you. Well, you certainly look the part of an adventurer, my friend. Might you be the good soul Momodi advised me to expect, I am Papashan, station master of this humble dispatch yard. An empty title, I assure you. I truly am no more than a tired old Lalafell passing his final years in quiet and solitude. 12? No. There have been plenty of both these last 5 years since the calamity struck. The devastation was vast. Yet now true Ul'dahns work together, doing all in our power to rebuild what was laid to ruin by by the sweat of our brows and the love of our home, we have rebuilt Ul'dah to the grandeur and majesty that you see today. The railways which run through this dispatch yard too were born of the noble efforts of a great many souls. But there is still much work to be done. The wounds left by the calamity run deep. Isolated areas beyond our lines of supply remain. There are places yet wanting for the relief and restoration. Ul'dah needs the aid of you and your brethren, friend. In fact, never has our need been more dire. Which brings me to my point, I suppose. I do believe I may have some work of one suited of your ability. Since you've come all this way, perhaps you can perform an errand. It just so happens a number of sentries have been sent to guard the area. A dispatch to the dispatch yard as well. They have long been away from the shade and feather beds of the city. The hot days and cold nights can play hells with the mind and body out there. It isn't much, but go give them these twilight pretzels, would you? I find comfort food always helps when I feel like killing myself. Halt, madam. I'm going to have to ask you to put the pretzels on the ground and place your hands above your head. State your name and business. Twilight pretzel from Papashan? By the gods, forgive me. You could say this is a new post has my nerves in a twist. I'm terribly sorry for that. Yes, well, you may rest assured that the dispatch yard is safe as long as I stand watch. Please give Papashan my thanks and tell him that I only wish I could repay the favour. Western front clear, eastern front clear. For me, from Papashan, Twilight Pretzel, my favourite. How did he know? Can't fight on an empty stomach now, can I? Actually, I can't fight on any stomach. I suppose you could say I have no stomach for fighting. Well, save me scorching days, freezing nights. This post will be the end of me. Twilight Pretzel. Don't mind if I do. That's a refreshing goddamn pretzel. I feel reborn. You've returned. And with a deal fewer pretzels, I see. Tell me, how fare our Sultan sworn sentries? Did they report anything at all? What? Nothing? Are you sure Oh dear. Take this for your troubles, then. Stay a moment. There is more I would ask of you. Kai, just this moment. No, the time of concealment is past. The truth is, even before I had you deliver those pretzels, I was privy to some most unsettling news. Which is the real reason I sent you to meet those Sultan sworn. A young noblewoman from a very prestigious family has run away from home. I have been ordered to see to herself return. The Sultan sworn you met earlier are assisting with the search. Alas, it seems they have found no trace of her. I apologize for not being frank with you from the start, but we must proceed with caution. Should word of her disappearance spread, I fear others with less honourable motives may join the hunt. And should we allow her to come to any harm, not even 100 beheadings would be punishment enough. That cannot happen, Kai. It must not. I need you to help me find her. Praise the 12. I knew I could count on you. I've instructed the others to expand the search. Ul'dahn is vast, and there is only so many of us. The young noblewoman's name is Lady Lilira. I want you to go south and look for her in the vicinity of the Sultantree. Good luck. Mirror her voice, you see.
Oh, Sultantree, hallowed spirit of my line, forgive my weakness. My failings have cost us dear. Show yourself!
As you command, O Lilira. Forgive my selfish desire to assure your welfare.
I don't recall requesting an escort. Simply pretend we never met and continue on your way.
We both know I can do no such thing. It isn't safe for you here alone. It isn't safe for anyone. Not with this etheric disturbance. It's as though the dead are watching us. And I'd prefer not to join them, if it's all the same to you. Ah, you must be the one that Papa Shan mentioned. Congratulations on finding our elusive young charge. You'll have to forgive her impetuousness. What she lacks in discipline, she makes up for in stubbornness. You should return with us. The station master will be eager to thank Lady Lilira's protector in person. Alas, the station master will have to wait. Dear Lilira, for my sake, please stay out of harm's way. As for you, dear friend, for Lilira's sake, please stay in harm's way.
Come, let's attend to our uninvited guest. Leave the big one to me. You handle the rest. So I've got the lovely import friends. Stay close if I want him to heal. More of them. Really now, there are limits to our hospitality. Just a little more.
Hear, feel, think. Crystal Bearer. I am Heidelin, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them. By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart. And shine thy light on all creation.
Ah, coming around now.
Would you mind telling me what that was?
If I only knew. A denizen of the void at any rate.
The void sent? Here? But how?
The question isn't how, but who. We're not dealing with bookless bandits. Don't suppose the answer came to you in a dream. No sooner did you fell the beast than you fell asleep. Too much ether, no doubt. Interesting. I hadn't considered the crystal. But of course, this changes everything. Oh, just thinking aloud? At any rate, we haven't a moment to spare. I must return and report this at once. I leave Lady Lilira in your capable hands.
How dare you pass me about like a swaddled babe? I shall return and tell them myself.
As you wish, your impetuousness. I suspect we shall meet again before long. Until then, do try and stay awake.
Oh, thank God you've returned. You had us all so worried. You do realize what would happen if a person of your noble stature were to be injured, or worse? Why, Her Grace the Sultana would be beside herself with grief, and so would her subjects. I dare say they'd be weeping in the streets. But I already have given you cause to weep, Papa Shan, you and the people of Ul'dah. Please, you're not to say such things. We will find it, I swear to you. It's not my place to make demands, my lady, but I beg you, please stay out of harm's way. I apologize for causing you undue worry, Papa Shan. I shall refrain from travelling unescorted in the future. I cannot thank you enough, Kai. I understand you fought bravely to protect Lady Lilira from void-sent fiends. For your gallant service you deserve all the riches in the royal vaults. Alas, a small token of my gratitude is the best I can offer. A sarcastic man with a strange contraption strapped to his shoulder. I see you met Thangred. He's a scholar who spends his days investigating oddities in the ether. Rather too fond of the sound of his own voice for my liking, but perfectly harmless. As for you, Kai, you're just the sort of adventurer we need around here. I pray you show the same kindness to the people of Thanalan as you did to us today. You're an adventurer, yes? If you're not otherwise occupied, I've a favour to ask. It's resolved to repay a debt of gratitude which I owe to the owner of the coffer and coffin. But for this purpose I purchased from the royal plantations a prodigiously plump pumpkin, particularly popular piece of produce. Alas, I cannot part this place to procure and proffer this pumpkin. You see, the scheduled shipment from the Nanawa mines, for which I wait, is late. I would prevail upon you to pick up the pumpkin in my stead and see it safely to the coffer and coffin. Present this receipt of purchase to Kagari at the Royal Plantations, and she will yield it to you. Apologise for asking you to attend to this time-consuming task, but I truly appreciate your assistance. If Kokoda doesn't come calling soon, this spectacular specimen shall sadly be past its prime. Oh, you're to deliver this decadent delight. I can say with confidence that any gourmand would be grateful for such a grand gift. Here is the pumpkin. I hope it meets with Roger's approval. Fresh produce is somewhat scarce in these parts, and as such we are always delighted with deluge with demand. You know the way to the coffer and coffin, correct? It's beyond the bridge to the northwest. Look for the place where local labourers land. Drink for your lassie. You won't get a better ale or spirits for your coin than at the place. What's that? We Kokoda asked you to bring this here to me. So, even that foul-mouthed drunk knows what's the meaning of remorse. Reckon this is for the time I carried his drunk, sodden arse back home. Bells, an honest-to-God's pumpkin from the royal plantations. Can't wait to see what the cooks will do with her. The lads here scoff down beastly amounts of meat, and it's starting to tell on their health. It'll be good to get more vegetables in their bellies, assuming I can get the stubborn bastards to try something new. Thanks for your help, lassie. Word is Blackbrush Station's sorely undermanned. Stone torches there can't get a moment's peace. Bloke by the name of Warren is hoping to bolster the numbers for a short-term assignment or two. If you fancy putting a few extra gil in your pocket, you could do a lot worse. Looking for work perchance? If so, you couldn't have come at a better time. We stone torches are sellswords hired by Mul'dahn Sons Mineral Concern to protect its interests. Our primary duty here is to keep track clear of pests, and it is for that purpose we require your aid. I should point out, however, as it can be messy work and liable to get messier still if you're ill prepared. A single piece of gear can mean the difference between life and death. Not having on my conscience, I sent an ill-equipped adventurer to an untimely demise. See to eat your arms and armour in order. Ready, present yourself to me again. Keep an eye on these tracks, and sooner or later you'll see one of the Magitech contraptions hauling a train of oil-filled wagons. Do we got problems with bugs and thieves making off with the shipments? Not while storing the torches along the journey. Look for Blackbrush Station where you found it. This is where the wagon loads of ore from Nanowell mines end up. The raw materials are refined inside, with the furnace blazing away in there and the air becomes stiflingly hot. Much prefer to wait on shipments out here. You ready for inspection? Good. Everything's in order. Yet know that naught is guaranteed in this world. Fate is a fickle mistress, after all. At any rate, capable adventurers like you are few and far between. I would not have you throw your life away. I've had to bury too many comrades who brushed aside cracks in their hauberks and dints in their helms. No matter what you face, do not disregard the importance of gear. Well, seems reasonable. Let's get to it, shall we? All wagons pass through the station every day, but not without incident. Wagons coming and going from dispatch yard to the south must pass through a tunnel by Fesher's Watch. A tunnel in which some genius saw fit to put an ore storehouse, creating the ideal conditions for a goblin nest. So now the ore-loving beasts have taken up residence in a tunnel we dug, and we're practically delivering meals to their doorstep. No more. Inside the tunnel in question you will find a narrow fissure where the goblins hide. Use this silver ore to cluster to lure out the creatures and slay them. Soft skittering sound echoes through the tunnel. Well done. Shan't be easy work to keep the tunnel free of goblins, but our wagons should be able to go through unmolested for a time. Disruptions to ore shipments threaten not only the interests of Imaginary Sons, Mineral Concern, but Ul'dah herself. One might liken these train tracks to the veins that bear our nation's lifeblood. If only we had more women like you to lend a hand. Ah, the altruistic adventurer. I was hoping we'd bump into each other. Why? Because I have a most fascinating piece of news recently reached my ears, and I'm eager to share it. May I? Rumour has it that a vast untapped vein of ore beneath the ruins of Ul'dah. That there is a vast untapped vein of ore beneath the ruins of Ul'dah. But that is not all. Inconceivably, the concern appears to be entirely ignorant of its existence, and even as we speak, a young upstart, a self-made merchant from stone's throw of all places, is moving to claim it. The fellow's name is Whiston, and he's a very, very ambitious young man. Not only does he intend to secure exclusive excavation rights, but they say his master plan is to use his newfound fortune to curry favour with the Sacrarium. Of course, the thaumaturges only consider the opinions of the most wealthy when drafting the laws in Ul'dah. If you were to have your voice heard, you must be prepared to pay a sultan's ransom. One voice which is invariably heard among belongs to Lord Lolorito. He has long lavished gil upon the thaumaturges, and has some claim that he devises new laws with the express intention of ruining his competitors while protecting his own interests. Suffice it to say, if Whiston thinks he can compete with the likes of the Syndicate, he is in for a rude awakening. But that eventuality may yet be a little way off. For the present, he is moving ahead with his plans and assembling a team to survey the site. I'm told he's at the Coffin right now, recruiting able-bodied adventurers to escort his prospectus. Warren said you were looking for work. Mayhap you should meet Whiston and volunteer for his expedition. Come to join? Sorry, but you're too late. Some brass blades looking for extra coin volunteers. The team's already en route to the ruins. Look, I know it's not easy to find work these days. If you're interested, there's something else you can do for me. There are these children outside, little ones from stone's throw. I look after them when I've time to spare, so they've taken to following me around even when I tell them not to. What with overseeing the search for the vein, I barely have a chance to visit the privy at the moment, much less entertain younglings. Can you give them these ginger cookies and convince them to go home for me? Right, let's talk to the children. I ain't got nowhere, missus. I'm too hungry to move. Besides, you'll have to carry me. Cookie, well, if Whiston really wants me to go home, then all right. But I want two next time. But Whiston always plays with us. Why won't he come out and play? Wow, a ginger cookie. I'd better save some for my brother. I know I'll go home and eat it with him. Whiston's kind to us. I like him. This is for me. I want to eat it, but then again I don't, because then it'd be gone. Tell Whiston thanks and tell him I'm sorry for getting in the way. I like playing with Whiston. We make sure no one bullies us. Whiston's worried about us. I don't want to make him worried. I'm a good girl, so I'll go home. Well, the kids are set off. Thank you, adventurer. I only wish I could do more. Stone's Throw is no place for a child. Not that my childhood was much happier. Never enough food to go around, nor work to earn it. But no shortage of contempt from the great and the good. I remember thinking things could only get better. Yet now, after the calamity and everything else, for us refugees to be forced to live outside the gates like bloody beastmen is a disgrace. They say with enough money you can change the laws here. So I'm going to make a fortune and do just that. I'm busy. I'll buy the excavation rights and I'll start my own mining business. Then I'll give my fellow refugees the work they're crying out for, and pay them fairly. The mining companies have profited from our suffering for too long. But in their hubris they've grown complacent, presenting us with a golden opportunity. And we will take it, adventurer. We will reclaim our dignity and with it our place within those walls. We found her. We found the vein, Whiston. You must come and see. Already? Amazing. We must leave at once. You should join me, my friend. Come, bear witness to history in the making. How's balls, son? A vein of war in the middle of a ruined bloody city? Goddamn idiot. What do you think was going to happen? That you'd strike it rich and get cosy with the Order, while the masters of Ul'dah looked on? No one crosses the Syndicate. The Syndicate? Ha! It's finally sunk in, has it? Well, look at this. Not all your friends have deserted you. Seems. Lucky boy. Now you won't have to die alone. O mournful voice of creation, grant ye this humble stone a soul, that it may wake to life. Who's that spouting gibberish? Show yourself. This ain't part of the plan. Bloody hells, does Lord Lolorito mean to kill us too? Just leave me. Right. And a lightning bolt. Hippo doesn't like going down too much, does it? You are strong enough, but are you strong enough to withstand this? That is a little bit rude. Oh dear. Get one good round of fire. Balls off it. Perfectly fine. Impossible. Never has the golem been so sorely tested. The golem could be vanquished. That woman is no ordinary adventurer. Damn, seems I missed all the fun. I see you didn't need my help this time. I would compose a ballad in your honour, but I fear no words would do you justice. The songstress of Ul'dah herself could not rival your beauty. Oh, stop it. I have oft heard it said that the blossom's beauty can move a man to love and long, but I never truly believed it until I met you two desert roses. I hear they attacked another caravan. Aye, and business is suffering for it, bloody Amalja. What stirred him up to do, you reckon? Another raid, and I'll wager that caravan was carrying crystals, much like the last. If they truly mean to summon a primal, we must act quickly. Are you coming, love? You wouldn't keep a girl waiting, would you? Perish the thought. So tell me, where in this marvellous city might you two lovely ladies be staying? Thanks, Thancred. At this rate, grain will soon be more precious than gold. The result of the uncommonly bad harvest, to be sure. And we have you to thank for them, do we not? Aye, this weakening of the etheric flow must surely be linked to Dalamud's descent. And of course to the Prudence. A fine mess. We must not lose hope. Louis will know what to do. We need only trust in his judgment. Truly a marvel of Charlayan ingenuity. It's as if I could reach out and touch the ether. Time to focus. No more gallivanting about like before. The Scions are counting on you. Have faith. Just have faith. You can do this. This disturbance is recent. The Sultantree? Maybe Papashan will know something of it. Looks like they gave you quite the thrashing. Can you walk? It's me. I was too late. Our person of interest has already quit the scene. General? Very well, I shall be there anon. My colleagues went to great lengths to provide you with the means to detect etheric disturbances, but every time I find one, you seem to be in the middle of it. I'm starting to wonder if it might not be simpler just to follow you around. Sadly, I have business elsewhere. Tread softly, my friend. The carefully laid trap you dismantled was clearly sanctioned by Lord Lolorito. I heard the Blades mention him as they fled. Believe me when I tell you, he's not a man to be trifled with. The Sultana's enemies grow bolder by the day, and I suspect they have the support of outside forces. Thank you. If you hadn't come along, those bastards would have surely slaughtered us all. I would speak with you further, but it isn't safe for us to linger here. Find me at the coffer and coffin later. Until then, stay safe. I shall accompany Whiston and his men. They need protection and I need more information. But where are my manners? I have yet to properly introduce myself. I'm Thancred, a humble scholar surveying the flow of ether in Thamra. It is an honour and a privilege to make your acquaintance. I hope when next we meet it is under more auspicious circumstances. Farewell. Wait a moment. It occurred to me that we may have... Never mind. Fairly be well. So I try not to get tongue-tied. Well, bless you, my friend. You risked your life to save ours. Betrayed by my own gods. Gods, I was a fool to trust those men. Lolorito owns the goddamn brass blades. We should have questioned their motives from the start. Even so, I could have hardly predicted that the wealthiest man in Ul'dah would want me dead for the heinous crime of seeking to change the law. I'm just a merchant for God's sakes. That ruthless bastard. What of that monstrosity? Those were his own men. Beggar's belief. Well, that's it. I'm finished. If I stay in Ul'dah any longer, I'm as good as dead. My associates, my friends, God, even the children may not be safe if I don't disappear. And you, Godsdamn, if Ul'dah learns of your involvement, you'll be next. I'll speak with the others and make sure your part stays secret. Beyond that, I don't know what to suggest. Maybe you should seek the counsel of Mistress Mamodi. If you tell countless adventurers in a time, mayhaps you'll know what to do. Go quickly now, my friend, while Rito's spies may be watching. Settle down, Kai. You've got nothing to worry about. No one seems to know you were there at the ruins. Whiston, on the other hand, is now a pariah, about as welcome round here as a rabid wolf, poor bugger. Suffice it to say, that boy risked the wrath of the wrong man. Lord Lolorito, chairman of East Aldanar Trading Company, generous contributor to the Order of Nalthal, and member of the Syndicate. Didn't get where he is by leaving loose ends, that one. Which is why he ain't above killing his own men. Hells, even those blades knew what was coming. It's not like they could refuse to do their benefactor's bidding. Don't let this colour your view of Ul'dah, Kai. It's true that there are some who ain't afraid to crack a few skulls if it gets them what they want, but most of us are decent folk just trying to make ends meet. You know, a lot of people would call you a damn fool for risking your life to save a marked man. But I believe you did a good thing, Kai, and for that you have my respect. Listen, you've been through a lot lately. Why don't you rest a spell? I'll have the boys at the Hourglass set you up with a room. My treat. Just have a word with Otopa Potopa whenever you feel like staying sleeping. And when you've got the appetite for adventuring back, consider taking a guild levy or two. We've got a ton of requests from locals looking to hire adventurers for various jobs. It'll be a good way for you to earn some extra gil. Eustace can tell you more about how the system works, so go speak with him when you're interested. Look what the Quell dragged in. Good to see you, Kai. I'd ask what brings you, but I reckon we both know the answer to that already. Well, have I ever let you down before? Wait, don't answer that. So it happens I know a fella by the name of Dadanen, who needs a hand. He's a merchant by trade, selling precious stones to those in Ul'dah with the means to buy them. He asked that I send you looking for work his way. You can find him over in Horizon if you fancy. That's in Western Fanland, mind you. Just cross the bridge north of Scorpion Crossing. The road will take you there. Knowing the circles he deals in, you might have some talk of the royal family that'll interest you as well. And why not make use of that Chocobo Porter for a journey to Horizon, if you've the guild, that is. You'll find the Chocobo stables just across the way from the quicksand. Find Mimigan, he'll set you straight. Well, off you go then. I haven't got all day to be holding your bloody hand. Hi, I presume. Mamodi said to expect you, and so I have. Welcome to Horizon. Ours is a trading settlement that sees goods in from Port Vesper Bay into the west, and trade we do. Nary a day goes by that Horizon is bustling with some manner of merchants and officials. They keep us running about busy, they do. Enough so that I wish I had chocobo legs in place of my own. And that's why I've asked Mamodi to send me any souls looking for work. 12 know there's plenty of it to be done around here. Speak to me again when you're ready to make yourself some use. It so happens I have a situation that must be resolved post-haste. And I do mean post-haste. I'm plumb out of premium product, and my latest order has yet to arrive. If I keep my customers waiting any longer, this could be irrevocably damage my reputation. What's worse, I paid my man in advance for his services. Despite his assurances it would be a simple affair, I've heard nothing since he departed for Copperbell Mines days ago. Find Drunken Stag and give him this notice. I cannot afford any further delay. beasts, demons, Ghanaian. It's a plane in the bloody arse, whatever it is. How is a man supposed to feed himself? What do you want? Dadaden's product? He can send all the notices he likes, but it won't change a thing. The concern has closed the mines due to some incident in the depths. It's a goddamn shame, too. Lost a decent haul just over yonder during all the chaos. The product you heard Danaden going on about is a valuable gemstone known as Nashachite. I managed to dig up a godly amount of just before the mines were closed off, actually. Packed it up, hauled it out even, but then them 12 dang goblins came along. Not like any goblins I'd seen before. Hungry only for the good rocks. They had eyes for my gemstone, so I had no choice but to oblige. Stone Georges had their hands full evacuating the mines. They ignored the beasts. Even now they're only concerned with keeping people out. Please, friend, if you're willing to face the goblins, would you bring me back my Natashite? How'd you fare, friend? Did you find the raw Nashashite? Beautiful, isn't it? Rarer than many stones, and more expensive than most. They say the green is the same as the eyes of Nanasha Ul'nasha, who once ruled as the Sultana. This should save Danaden and from his troubles, if there's enough left. There's far less here than what I found. I reckon those goblins made a meal of the stuff. Bloody waste. If you like a chance to make some money, right, then I know just how I can repay you for your kindness. Swarms of sun midges have been harassing travellers along the road connecting Horizon to here. Gone so bad the brass blades have started paying folks to keep the roads clear. If you find it hard to believe that swarms of tiny midges could be so troublesome, and you've never seen a chocobo driven to a frenzy by... There have already been some terrible accidents. Do your part and slay a few swarms. After that, let Footfalls know. He'll reward you for your trouble, and maybe even offer you more work. Greetings and salutations, adventurer. To what do I owe this? What, you've slain how many swarms of sun midges? You have my sincerest thanks. The brass blades have been struggling to keep them in check. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. Will you be staying in Horizon long? So there's much more you can do to help here. Pray allow me to enlist your aid, brave adventurer. I would have you ascertain the whereabouts of a missive I sent to Lost Hope the other day. Captain Leofric is stationed there. Ever since he was transferred, we have exchanged letters. Never before has it taken this long to receive a reply. So I fear the courier may have met with some misfortune en route. She must have made it to Central Thumb. Brass blades patrol the road between here and Scorpion Crossing would have seen something. But if she made it as far as Blackbrush Station, she would have surely delivered the letter by now. Lost Hope is practically on its doorstep. I suggest you focus your search on the road to Blackbrush Station in Central Thalaran. With luck, you'll find her quickly. Go. Huh? The letter? I've got Footfalls' missive right here. I won't be delivering it any time soon, though. I've got to tend to my bird's injured leg first. Even the most minor of cuts confessed or if ignored. Footfalls sent you, right? This is a pressing matter. Why don't you take it the rest of the way? Lost Hope's just past Blackbrush Station to the northeast. Look for the tents by the river. Just passing through, or will you be staying a while? Footfalls sent you all this way because of a late letter. Boy's still far too earnest. Despite my demotion, he continues to call me captain. I suspect he has no idea what it means to be transferred to Lost Hope either. The brass blades don't give a quickern's ass about this settlement. No one in Ul'dah does. All here have been forsaken, adventurer. The refugees, their protectors. You will be too if you're seen associating with us. Thank you for the letter. Now, for your own good, leave. Oh, I told you to get out of here. What, looking for a chance to do some good? I guess I can't force you to leave. Damn stubborn adventurers, the lot of you. Fine then, listen well. A band of outlaws has taken up residence in Quivering Manse, on the ridge to the south. Their leader has styled himself heir to the Eoland Quiveron, the syndicate member who died in the calamity. The Baron and his cronies are naught more than a pack of jackals. They prey on the people of Lost Hope, robbing them of what little they have. I myself cannot act without endangering the refugees, as they know my face and will retaliate against Lost Hope. You, however, are not known to the bandits or their allies. You wish to help us deal with the Baron. So, it's done. Good. I hope that wretch died screaming. Ul'dah is more prosperous than ever, some say. That may be true for the syndicate. None of that wealth has trickled down to the small folk. It's all a murmur's farce. One day I refused to play my part, and so I was made to leave the stage. My time has passed. The brass blades of the rose must look to others for guidance. As you may have noticed, I'm in no shape to leave Lost Hope right now, so in my stead I'd like you to return to Horizon and give this dagger to Footfalls. Although it's just an old ornamental dagger, it belongs with the brass blades of the rose. I should have given it to the boy before I came here. Ah, Kai, I received word from Captain Leofric the other day. Thank you for delivering the letter for me. This ornamental dagger has remained in the possession of the brass blades of the rose for centuries, traditionally passed down to a new captain when an old one retires. But why do you have that dagger? Only a captain of the brass blades of the rose is permitted to possess it. Captain Leofric says I'm to have it. There must be some mistake. He couldn't possibly mean to tell me that. No, of course not. I'm not worthy to wield it. Nevertheless, I will respect the captain's wishes and take the dagger into safekeeping until he comes to reclaim it. Brass blades of the rose have need of your assistance once more, Kai. Thaumaturges of the ossuary are presently surveying the footfalls for ancient relics. As an area is rife with wild beasts, the Horizon garrison has been charged with their security. Captain Baldwin sent only a handful of brass blades. Despite his assurances to the contrary, such a small unit cannot possibly be sufficient to protect our patrons. I would have you offer your assistance to my comrades. Pray travel to the Footfalls and speak with Totaroon. Some thaumaturge elite have been poking around the ruins. Waste of time, if you ask me. But to each his own, I suppose, as long as they don't get in the way of us doing the real work. A bleeding venturer come to help? I ain't heard nothing from Captain Baldwin about this. He said trust in men only. Intro, we got this under control, and besides, this operation ain't got nothing to do with Footfalls. Boy's got to stick up his arse the size of a saboteur. Ain't no wonder the captain told him to stay at Horizon. Hey, Ventra, mind running a message to Crescent Cove for us? Captain Baldwin's planning some festivities for the thaumaturges, say. Wants to treat it to the finest food and drink. Nothing but the best for our distinguished guests, eh? Head west and south to the village. Tell Raph that he's got to deliver a bounty of fresh fish to Horizon for the feast. Fresh fish for Captain Baldwin? Of course. We will do our best, madam. Unfortunately, we've had poor catch in recent days on account of the rough seas. More bolts should be returning soon, but I cannot promise that their catch will please. But don't worry, my lady, the captain will have his fish, I swear it. You're an adventurer, are you not? I know this may be sudden, but I have nowhere else to turn to. Last night, a gang of bandits from the Quiverin Manse were in their cups, and I overheard them discussing their plans. It seems they've come to collect gemstones stolen from Copperbell mines. That's a trait, I think I would say. They're to meet with their co-conspirator soon at the Footfalls. What did you say? Illicit exchanges, shadowy dealings, the brass blades cannot abide such malfeasance. Forgive my eavesdropping, Kai. I came to Crescent Cove merely to thank you in person. I never imagined I'd uncover a criminal conspiracy right outside Horizon's gates. We must act quickly if we're to apprehend the thieves. I will notify Captain Baldwin at once. No, wait, you mustn't. Oh, gods. You must stop him before he's too late. Captain Baldwin himself is working with the bandits. Captain Baldwin, sir, I've discovered something shocking, something horrible. Someone has been stealing gemstones from Copperbell mines and... Wait, those gauntlets, those boots, what? You're one of Quiverin's men, sir. Man is a thief and a scoundrel. What of it? His coin is good. That's what counts. But Captain Baldwin, are you working with this man? It can't be. I told you to stay in Horizon, Fuffalba. Didn't have to be like this. They get their nashite, I get my gill. None would be the wiser. But sir, what if your crimes were uncovered? What if Lord Lorito finds out? You're a goddamn fool, don't you see? I'm acting under the authority of Lord Lorito himself. No, that cannot be true. Why do you think people join the Brass Blades for Fulpa? To serve and protect? We're not the bloody flames here. We do this for the coin. You there, adventurer, do you remember me? Well, I remember you. I am Baron von Quiveron, the 4th Esquire. You killed my brother, and now I'm going to return the favour. Well, that settles it. It's clearly in everyone's best interest that both of you die. It's time to do your duty for Fulpa. Time to die for your country. Why, Captain, I trusted you. Fortunately, I'm not a class that's much of a fool. Oh, good, something's here. Stronger than I thought. Yeah, just you wait, sunshine. Both are ruining everything. Where is Spear, Kai? That's enough, Baldwin. Your partner is dead, your plans are undone. You've no reason left to fight. Stay out of this, Leofric. I don't take orders from you. I may have spared your life before, but if you interfere, I will not show you mercy. And what mercy will he show you, I wonder? You who have done so much in another man's name. What are you blathering on about? Every fisherman in Crescent Cove knew about your meeting, you arrogant fool. Quiveran's men couldn't keep their mouths shut. Imagine Lord Lodorito's surprise when he learnt a rank-and-file brass blade was using his name to advance a personal agenda. He knows. 7 L's, but I'm a captain. He wouldn't. I was once a captain too, remember, and we both know what happened to me. Well thought, boy. You've done the brass blades the Rose proud. Captain Leofric, Captain Baldwin, he said that Lord Lodorito wouldn't waste his time on small-scale smuggling operation. This is all Baldwin's doing. What else did he say? That all our brethren are no better? Each and every one cares for naught but coin? Mere excuses to justify his schemes. We've no shortage of greedy sots. Some would probably sell their own mothers into slavery if the price was right. But there are men like you, for Fulpa. Men good and true, whom the small folk respect. Which is why I gave you the dagger. The brass blades the Rose need a leader with honour, and you're the most honourable man I know. Captain. Thank you for your help, Kai. The captain and I will escort Captain Baldwin back to the horizon. Pray visit me in town when next you return. Welcome back, Kai. So much has happened. Captain, Baldwin has been arrested, stripped of rank, which means the brass blades the Rose no longer have a captain. Until a new one is designated, I have been ordered to serve as acting captain of the Horizon Garrison. Though doubtless this is only a temporary arrangement, I will do my utmost to represent my brethren and protect the people of Horizon. Thank you, Kai. For your service to the Sultanate, you are a true hero. I salute you, honoured friend. As acting captain, I should be much obliged if you would grant me a personal request. Our efforts to ascertain the full extent of the former captain's corruption, we have been poring over his personal correspondence. Our search unearthed this sealed letter addressed to a man named Owen. But he is of the Sultan sworn elite. I can think of no reason why he should have any dealings with Baldwin. We now know that the former captain was consorting with a coalition of criminals. Could it be that Owain was one too? The letter may serve as evidence of their collusion, and so I dare not tamper with it myself. Given the events of recent days, I knew not whom to trust with this information until now. I have chosen you, Kai. Pray bear the letter to Mistress Modi of the Quicksand. Relate the circumstance of its discovery. Not only is she a staunch supporter of the Sultana, but she is well acquainted with the Sultan's war. She'll know how best to proceed. Kai, it's been too long. Dadanen tells me you've been keeping busy in Horizon. I want you to know I am grateful for everything you've done for the people of Ul'dah. Even though you've seen the seedier side of our city, you've continued to help your fellow man. Believe me, the folk around here love you for it. What is it? You look like you've got something to say. So that's what this is all about. Fupa's thinking Owen might be in league with the Baldwin. But this letter could be proof of something shady. Well, he needn't worry. Owen's as loyal to the Sultan sworn as I've ever known. I haven't the foggiest what this says, but... Wait a minute. Wasn't Owain the one who... Oh, hells, I've got a bad feeling about this. Listen, Kai, I think I know what this is about, but I need you to swear to keep it quiet. You'd rather wash your hands of the business, I won't hold it against you. But if you're determined to see it through to the bitter end, say the word and I'll explain. Can I count on your discretion, Kai? If so, then listen closely. The outside world believes Ul'dah to be a sultanate, ruled by Sultano Nanamo Ul'namo. Truth is, though, the 6 wealthiest citizens that hold the most sway, the syndicate. Be that as it may, the Sultan has still got the support of the people. But she might struggle to keep it, even that if a certain incident becomes public knowledge. It pains me to say it, but Her Grace's crown, the symbol of the royal dynasty, has been stolen, and Owen, the Sultan sworn who was charged with guarding it that night. I bet anything this letter was written by the bastards who made off with the crown. It can't be a coincidence. The man we know to have been fraternizing with thieves has a letter for Owen, of all people, at this of all times. You need to take this to the man himself, Kai. Tell him Momodi sent you, and that it concerns a lost heirloom. If it looks as though the fellow needs help, I want you to lend it to him. The future of our fair city may depend on it. The heart of the sworn lies beyond. State your business. Pardon? Did you say a lost heirloom? Proceed. Well met, adventurer. What business brings you this day? A letter. Very well, let's see it. Have you read this, adventurer? I see. But you've got some inkling as to its contents, I think. Mistress Momodi has doubtless explained to you the significance of the crown, and what its loss could mean for Her Grace the Sultan. This theft shames the Sultan Sworn, and me most of all. The blame is mine, you see. I grew lax in my duties, and in a moment of carelessness. No, it will do no good to recount the tale now. Since the hour of the theft, we've searched frantically for any signs, any whispers as to the whereabouts of the crown, and we have found nothing. The identity of the thieves and their motives seems fated to remain a mystery until you arrived, bearing this ransom note. In it, the criminals state their price for the return of Her Grace's crown. Though it pains me to say it, I fear I've no choice but to acquiesce to their demands. Too much is at stake to do otherwise. The crown symbolises Her Grace's birthright and identifies her as the custodian of the Ul'dah dynasty. It must be recovered. I will travel to the unholy Heir and pay them their ransom. Though I am not foolish enough to meet these men alone, as they stipulate, I dare not bring a host of my comrades lest the thieves take fright. Friend, would you consent to be present for the exchange? Mistress Modi has always spoken of you in the most glowing terms, and I have never yet had reason to question her judgment. On behalf of those still loyal to the Sultana, I beseech you, help us in our hour of need. I've come as agreed. Now show me the crown. Ah, you'll have your precious crown once we've been duly compensated. You think me a fool? What assurance have I that you will honour your part of the agreement? Now, Owen. You're the least trustworthy man here. Not only was the crown stolen on your watch, but it looks to me as if you violated the terms of our exchange. Did we not say you were to come alone? And given that you are not alone, what guarantee have we that there isn't a company of archers surrounding us even as we speak, ready to feather me and my men the moment they catch a glimpse of the crown? You have made a mock of our trust. The deal is off. Wait. Here is your payment as promised. Aye, 'tis the real thing. 1,000 thanks to you, boy. You succeeded where scores of thieves have failed. And now at long last we have it, the power to create an army of undying soldiers, the trader's spur. No, it can't be. What have I done? Surely you must have wondered what it was that you were handing over. What it was that seemed valuable to us as the crown seemed to you. Or did you assume we were feeling charitable? Ah, but you must feel terrible, knowing that you have brought us the doom of Ul'dah. Worry not. We'll grant you a quick death and spare you further ignominy. There's too many, Kai. Run. Run while you still can. I will do my duty. It is your duty to serve the Sultana, lad. You'll be doing it for a good while yet. Sultan Sworn, put these thieves to the sword and secure the crown. Sultan's will. No matter, kill them all. I do apologise, I am slowly running out of voices for all these characters. Fight for your Sultana. Fight for Ul'dahn. As you command, Master Papashan. Alright, I need to be more careful. Whoops. Should be using their way. I got confused. One of the AoEs is based around you and one's based around your opponent. Hello. Not who you face. Well, I think I'm facing a dead one, apparently. Oh, bloody hell. One of them again. Is that a void seed? Yeah, it is. Master Papashan, but why? How? The general saw you sneak into the vault, sir. He suspected something was afoot and ordered us to keep an eye on you. The Flame General, he ordered you to look after me. Master Papashan, more of them to the north. After them, sword and sworn, they have the crown. This lot sought only to delay us. Let's speak again back in the city. Oh, hello there. The source of her strength becomes clear. You may have bested the golem, but you will not fare so well this day. O mournful voice of creation, send unto me a creature of the abyss, my thrall to command, that I may smite mine enemies. Your very being imperils the plan. You cannot be suffered to live. Well, we'll see about that. Soon you shall take your vile gifts to the grave. Dude, it's just thaumaturgy. It's just black magic. It ain't that bad. Mwahaha! Brave as the venom eats its way through your veins. Days I wish I was another character. Whence springs this preternatural You certainly have a knack for getting into trouble. An unwelcome guest, no matter, all shall fall before. We'll see about that, buddy. No mortal should possess such strength. Keep it up, Kai, we almost have him. The wisdom of the paragons could be brought low by mere mortals. Paragons? This is indeed a disturbing revelation. We had long suspected the involvement of the Bringers of Chaos, Ascians, to give them their true name. But we could not be sure that they were responsible for the recent disturbances until now, as if the Sultanate needed any more enemies. We have Have we, Charlayans, crossed paths with Ascians before? Well, we've certainly Wait, I don't recall telling you about my homeland. Ah, yes, that's right. You're one of the gifted. You know, this marks the 3rd time I've found you in the midst of trouble. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you're a lodestone for it. Anyway, I'm glad to have started following you around. Who knows what grand conspiracy you'll stumble upon next. I jest, and I'd truly been watching your every move. I wouldn't have taken so long to intervene in your latest altercation. But all's well that ends well, eh? Our masked friend is no more, and while I very much doubt we've seen the last of his kind, his demise will likely grant us at least some respite. And on that note, I must away. Until next time, Kai. Everyone's waiting for you, adventurer. You have my thanks, Kai, for helping to defend Her Grace's good name, and for sparing the Sultan's sworn further dishonour. I believe Master Papashan would like to thank you personally. Does it surprise you to see me dressed so, Kai? I was once a Sultan sworn, you know. It's been 15 years since I put down my sword and took up the role of station master. It is a capacity in which I am no less proud to serve, lest you doubt. Whenever Her Grace ventures outside the gates, I have the honour of protecting her person. Never before had I seen her so despondent as when news of her crown's theft reached her ears. But thanks to your valiant efforts, she has returned to her former vibrant self. You have the gratitude of every Sultan sworn, Kai.
Exalted vessel of Ul'dah, guardian of Thanalan, 17th ascendant to the throne of Ul'dah, Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ul'namo presides.
Long live Nanamo!
Long live
Glory
Nanamo!
to the
Glory
Sultana!
to the Sultana!
Forever may she
Forever
reign!
may she reign!
They regaled me with tales of a champion amongst champions, one whose tireless service to the crown merited the highest honor we might bestow. Never did it occur to me that it might be you. Bring it forth! Betokening our gratitude and esteem, I, Nanamo Ul'namo, Sultana of Ul'dah, confer upon you this gift. Ul'dahn,
Your Grace.
see to it that our champion is my personal guest at the banquet.
As you command, Your Grace. If what they say is true, Ul'dah owes you a great debt. I am Ul'dahn al-Din. With the consent of Her Grace, I oversee the affairs of the Sultanate. Brave souls are few and far between in these times. I count my blessings when I find one. Her Grace invites you to join her at the coming banquet. I trust I will see you there.
An honor,
Huzzah!
indeed.
Come, hero!
Until then, for the sake of Her Grace and the glory of the Sultanate, may you walk in the light of the crystal.
The 12, Kai, for an adventurer to receive a personal invitation from Her Grace is unprecedented. Seats at these banquets are offered only to the most distinguished individuals. You'll be dining with some of the most influential people in Ul'dah. There are, of course, certain protocols that must be observed, but I am no authority on them. Fear not, however, Mistress Momodi has long been responsible for familiarising foreign guests with our customs. Pray return to the quicksand and speak with her. She will tell you all you need to know. Welcome back, Kai, and congratulations on your invite to the big soiree. To be honest, I never imagined I'd be explaining these procedures to you. It's usually only foreign dignitaries who get to hear me prattle on and on about royal traditions. Any road, I know you're a busy woman, so I'll keep it short and sweet. In accordance with ancient custom, all guests to this banquet are required to wear a pair of ceremonial earrings, made specially for the occasion. They're meant to symbolise... Actually, forget about that. This was meant to be the short version. Being of design unique to the occasion, the earrings serve as a security measure. The Sultan Sworn won't let you near the hall without them. Your set should be ready and waiting for you at the Goldsmiths Guild. Mistress Serendipity is expecting you, so you'll want to head down there now. Once you've got them, bring them back here and we'll continue. Greetings, is there something I can help you with? Oh, Kai, your earrings are right here. I crafted them myself. I'll have you know, I think you'll be very pleased. In case Mistress Momodi didn't warn you, the box is locked and I'm not permitted to give you the key. It's a final safeguard, you see. Only designated individuals are authorised to distribute the earrings to guests. In this instance, the person in question is none other than Mistress Momodi, so you will need to ask her to open the box on your behalf. Pardon the inconvenience, but the Sultan Sworn take her Grace's safety very seriously. Picked up your earrings yet, Kai? Let me just... Well, now, looks like the Guildmaster outdid herself with this pair. You best take good care of these earrings. If they fell into the wrong hands, gods only know what might happen. Now then, I hope you're feeling sociable, Kai, because you're about to hobnob with Ul'dah's elite. Let me know when you're ready to head for the banquet. This is it, Kai, your big debut in Ul'dahn High Society. The banquet is being held in the Fragrant Chamber. Head over to the Royal Promenade and Bartholomew will show you in. Oh, but be sure to put on your earrings first, or he'll send you packing. Right, well, I reckon that's everything. Try not to let all the pomp and ceremony get to you. Just be yourself and you'll be fine. Banquet hosted by Her Grace, the Sultana, is due to begin shortly. Attendance is by invitation only. Please make way for arriving guests. We are honoured to receive you, my lady. Please proceed inside. Hey, Papa Sean.
All hail the Sultana!
Your Grace.
Raoban? By right of the Royal House of Ul, I, Nanamo, 17th of my line, have summoned you here. We are graced this day by the presence of a hero to Ul'dah and dear friend to the crown. Honored guests, I give you our champion! And with that, I bid you enjoy the feast.
Not to spoil your appetite, but Ul'dah is hardly so bountiful as this meal would have you believe. While we gorge ourselves, children starve in the streets, nor can Her Grace do aught to help them. She is thwarted at every turn by those on the syndicate who derive their wealth from the workers' poverty. Beneath her mask of stately serenity, she is aghast at the plight of her subjects. But there will be no hope for the masses until the crown is restored to power. I am truly grateful for all you have done for Ul'dah. But there is so much more to do. That light, what is it? So bright, almost like by the 12. Tell me true, have you been troubled by strange dreams of late? Visions of the crystal? Mayhap you put them down to an excess of ether? Yes, you are like they were. Allow me to explain. Before you came to Eorzea, there were others like you who fought the primals. Though they were not of this land, when the Guardian Empire threatened the realm, they helped bring together the 3 grand companies. And they stood with us at Cartano, that fateful day 5 years ago. The day we lost them. None who survived have forgotten the heroes' sacrifice, nor would any man deny they fought alongside us. But the names of these heroes come not to our lips. The once familiar pages of their story are now blank to us. And in our mind's eye, their faces are not but silhouettes amid a blinding glare. It is for this reason that we have come to call them the Warriors of Light. When I look at you, I cannot help but think of them, and of what you might achieve. You must protect that crystal at all costs. It is a gift from Hydaelyn, Mother of All, and one she gave to you for a reason. Yours is no ordinary tale. If I am right, the fate of the realm may yet hang upon your deeds. Only heroes and martyrs are fit to bear such a burden. Let us pray you are the former.
Flames to the fore! Victory belongs to the bold. Show those Imperial whore sons what we're made of!
The left flank buckles. Divert the barracudas. Bid them hold that position, though it costs them their lives.
The yellow serpents are in need of succor. Pray, send the white wolves to their aid. The adventurers risk life and limb for our cause. We must not fail them.
Is aught amiss?
No, it is nothing.
Bloody hells! The barrier won't go down so easily! Eyes forward!
We are being watched.
Raging Bull, calling Bloodthorn. Bloodthorn, respond! Respond, damn you! Rider! This is Raging Bull. What news?
We're surrounded by a blaze. There is no way out. God preserve, what is that thing?
What's going on? Speak to me!
God damn it! We cannot hold much longer.
Mad Snake! Mad Snake! Answer me! Damn it! Damn it all to the seventh hell!
What of the barracudas? Can they not be reached?
Sorry, Admiral. Shell's not working.
What of our own?
I cannot say, my lady. That monstrosity appears to be disrupting our communications.
We must keep trying. Call till they respond.
Yes, my lady.
Admiral, General, we can do no more. We must give the order to withdraw.
I will not forsake Louis Soir.
General, please. Victory may belong to the bold, but there will be no victor this day. You know this to be true. Let us not sacrifice lives in vain. The adventurers fight bravely, but to no avail. Let them withdraw, and let us be the ones to stand with Louis Soir.
Belay previous orders. All Maelstrom units are commanded to fall back, effective immediately. Give the foreign levy priority. Let the main host cover their retreat and bring up...
Damn it! Relay the order. All flames are to withdraw. I don't care if our link cells are useless. You still have a working pair of legs, don't you? Well, use them, you bloody half-wit!
The outcome of this battle was long since decided. Better to retreat now than risk a massacre. This dark, stifling presence. Who or what? We go to take our place beside Archon Louis Soir. To your positions.
Kasbamul, Soginin Moise Donzul.
That I should live to behold Bahamut once more.
Logalo, Asawad Takin, Bed Mubut.
Magnificent. The eons of imprisonment have only made him hungrier.
Imarat way, Kiskat Toga Had's Wadadorns.
I am aware of them. Pay them no mind. They are powerless to act.
Seize Nigem, Fistun the only Lamrai Satai Dorn.
It has begun. Soon the planet will regain its true form. How are you feeling, Kai? They said you fainted in the middle of one of the general stories. Had to have you carried back to the hourglass. I reckon you make quite the impression on your fellow guests, though probably not the sort you intended. Are you sure you're getting enough rest, Kai? Life in an adventurer can be pretty taxing. Any road, I'm glad to see you back to normal. No offence, but looking after you was getting a bit tiresome. Oh, before I forget, the General left a message for you. Said when you're feeling up to it, you should come and see him at the Hall of the Flames. Probably wants to finish the story he was telling you when you fell asleep. I've been waiting for you, Kai. I trust you're fully recovered. Good, because there's much work to be done. Work that I would have you do. Listen well, Kai. This will take some time to explain. I've prepared these letters for my counterparts in the Eorzean Alliance. "5 years ago, we looked on powerless as our brothers and sisters were taken from us at Cardinal, first by the Garleans and then by the thrice-damned Primal, called forth by their treachery. Not a day goes by that I do not think of my fallen comrades, and the warriors of light, of whom no trace remained. The tragedies of the calamity are not easily forgotten, nor should they be. In remembering all we have lost, we're reminded of what we still have. And so I mean to mark the 5th anniversary of the Battle of Cardinal with a memorial service honouring the fallen. It is my hope that my counterparts in the Alliance will agree to do the same. And I would have you bear my word to them as my personal envoy. Why you? Because your deeds mark you out as the nearest thing I have to a warrior of light. I can think of none more worthy of the role. The question is, will you accept it? Then it's agreed. We will journey to Gridania and Limsa as my official representative. Now that's a great many miles to travel, but I've neither the time nor patience to wait around while you do it on foot. I hereby grant you permission to use the airship routes connecting the 3 city-states. This pass will serve as proof of your privilege. Gone are the days when airship travel was available to all. The ever-present threat of Imperial attack has forced us to impose drastic restrictions out of concern for public safety. These passes are only granted when circumstance demands it, as in this case, though there were others who insisted you be granted one regardless. I, Kai, I am not alone in seeing it. Your potential is plain. But I have said enough. In the name of the Sultana, I bid you go forth. See for yourself the wonders of the realm for which the warriors of light restore. Rise to your calling and fulfill your promise. And should your path be barred by man or beast, strike fast and true, for victory belongs to the bold. Now go, Kai. Heed the crystal's guidance should you ever lose your way. Back from your meeting with Ul'dahn, are you? What did the big man have to say? Is that a fact? Personal envoy of the Flames General himself. So you'll be bearing the great man's words to the leaders of the Alliance, will you? And by airship. Bugger me, that's an honour and a half, that is. But I can't think of anyone who deserves it more. I'm proud of you, Kai, I truly am. Now, I dare say Ul'dahn told you this, but not many people get to go on airships these days. In fact, most folk go to their graves having never once seen Eorzea from above. Poor buggers shuffle off to meet Thal, having never known the blues of Limsa shimmering seas, or the myriad greens of leafy Gridania. But not you, Kai. You'll see those sights and more, and everywhere you go, you will find fascinating folk with fascinating tales to tell. The people you meet, the places you go, savour these experiences, for they are priceless all. Saying that, it'd be remiss of me not to remind you to be careful out there. Ul'dah ain't the only place beset by troubles, as you'll discover when you visit Limsa and Gridania. Truth be told, that might well be exactly what the General wants you to realise. I think he knows what kind of woman you are, Kai. And what kind's that, you ask? Why, the kind that can't resist sticking her nose in other people's business, of course. And don't you ever go changing it. Safe travels, Kai. I'll see you when you get back. Greetings, madam. This is the reservation counter for passengers travelling to Limsa. If I'm not mistaken, you are the Flame General's envoy, Kai Heir, yes? Highwind Skyways is at your service. Will you be flying with us today? Attention all passengers, the airship bound for Limsa is about to depart. Please make your way to the boarding gate. First we met beneath the Sultantree. I sensed there was something unusual about her. I wonder if they will feel the same. Godspeed, Kai, Godspeed. If I'm right, they'll be singing your praises from here to Far Reach before long. May you always walk in the light of the crystal.
It has been 15 years, but the bitter taste of defeat lingers still. 15 years since the Imperial fleet set course for Mordona, led by the Egrios, mightiest of all vessels. Silver Till lay ripe for the taking, and all of Eorzea would soon be ours. Or so we believed. But an innumerable host of dragons met us that day, at the heart of which flew the great Midgard Zormer. Though we succeeded in slaying that lord among worms, the dread serpent's defeat was bought at too high a price. Our invincible flagship was lost, and all hope of victory with her. So ended our glorious conquest. Eorzea, a blighted realm, riddled with false gods. Twice now it has eluded the Empire's grasp. For all the destruction it wrought, even Meteor, the great sin, failed to yield us control over it. And for this failure, the realm has sunk deeper into depravity. It is twisted beyond all reckoning, rotten nigh to the core. Yet it must be saved. Only Garlean rule can bring order to Eorzea. It falls to us to deliver the misguided masses from their ignorance.
We are of one mind, Lord Van Balthar.
Senior engineers, please report to Magitech research following scheduled inspection.
Hey, is the Legatus really planning to take another tilt at Eorzea?
Hey? What hole have you been hiding in? We're in the midst of preparing for a new campaign, and a huge one at that.
But I thought the Emperor had given up the Western lands for lost after Cartano. What could the Legatus possibly hope to gain by acting alone?
I sense you harbor certain doubts over the wisdom of the Legatus's plan.
My lord!
Please, call me Nero. Tell me, where were you born?
Ul'dahn, my lord.
Alamigo, my lord.
Ah, codename Hummingway, I presume.
I don't know what you...
Silence. Your denials will not change your fate. I assure you, Frumentarium sees all. Clean up this mess, and do not miss any, or I shall be most displeased.
At once, my lord.
Garland, soon you will be made to know the true power of Magitech.
Ah, you must be the envoy of Ul'dah. Welcome to Liminsa, madam. The Admiral awaits your arrival. You're the Ul'dahn Envoy. Welcome to Liminsa. The Admiral's been looking forward to your arrival. Please proceed to Crow's Lift at the earliest convenience. I'll take you to the Bulwark Hall. Once there, pray speak with Xanthale. He'll be pleased to show you to the Admiral's command room on the bridge. Right. Well, at this point, we are actually going to call it there, because from this point, the 3 starting areas line up, and from here it will be a single story. So that will be told in another video. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for joining. We'll be hopefully soon putting out, in line with this one, 2 other videos, one for Gridania, one for Liminsa, and then we'll be able to proceed with the main MSQ. So thank you all for coming, and thank you all for joining. We will see you all next time.